Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the session today. To our activities belong to Monday, January 17th. As you can see here, we're going to have a recorded activity because today the teachers related to the third baccalaureate, we have to assist to the Liceo Naval in order to form some of the community of the students that are living in the school and for their graduation. Right now, we're going to continue with the unit, but before, I need that you go to page 57. Buen día, estimados estudiantes. Ustedes van a recibir la siguiente grabación, vista que los docentes del Liceo Naval, en relación a los docentes que somos de tercer bachillerato, fuimos convocados el día de hoy, lunes, a trabajar al Liceo Naval para poder cumplir con nuestras actividades de cierre con los estudiantes de tercer bachillerato y cumplir con el cronograma respectivo. Por ende, para no atrasarnos con nuestras actividades, vamos a trabajar en base a este video y las actividades que ustedes van a encontrar en la plataforma de Richmond. Estas actividades están puestas, las cuales ustedes deben de cumplir de acuerdo al tiempo sugerido. Número 2. Usted sabe que tienen las actividades del Class Material, que es un trabajo autónomo. Al momento ya estamos cerrando la unidad número 5. Usted tiene que haber cubierto todas las actividades del Class Material de lo que hemos hablado, tanto el Class Material como el Workbook Online. Okay, so open your student book. We are going to start with the next activity. Today we're going to work on page 57 in this case with the student book and the workbook. In this case, we are going to talk about the challenge, and now we are going to have some new vocabulary related to this. In this picture, as you can see here, you have a big picture. Here we have some elements, interesting elements that we are going to have. Obviously, here you have some information. I need that you pay attention to all of the elements that you can find here. And obviously, according to this, we have a parachute, we have a bomb, in this case, using U2. So we have a food concentrate ready to eat. We have a first aid kit. We have some words, in this case, a bottle of water, in this case. And obviously, we are going to find also some instruments or tools that will help on this. Okay, so what we are going to do in this case for the preparation? Now we are going to identify specifically what are the items that we're going to have in this. Okay, for the first one, we said according to this. Here we have 1 box of dried milk. Next one, we have liters of water. The next one, we say that parachute. The next one, we have a box of food concentrated. The next one, we have some guns. The next one, we say some oxygen, a container of oxygen. We have a torch, okay? Some people say lantern, but specifically the word says a torch. We continue with the next one. We said a radio, but it's a solar power radio. We have the next one. We said a magnetic compass, a map of the stores. Also, we have a first aid kit. We have a rope. In this case, we have a rope. Okay, so we have some signal flares, and we have some matches. This I need that you complete in your student book. Complete in your student book now. 2 minutes to complete in your student book. Quickly. Complete information in your student book. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here you have the vocabulary for this part of the investigation or research that we have in this case, right? With this information, now you are going to have the next words in this case. You have a scenario. We have some part number 1 about this, and you have 2 questions. What you are going to do, you are going to read this information. You are going to read, and you are going to answer these 2 questions. You are going to answer these questions, and here in this space, you are going to answer the questions. In your book, you are going to write the answers of your questions. What is the question number 1? What are the main differences between life on Earth and on the moon? I need the main differences. And what is the question number 2? What are your biggest problems in the moon? obviously you are going to read this information. You are going to read this information and you're going to find the differences between life on Earth and the life on the moon. And what are your biggest problems on the moon? For that, we are going to read this information, okay? Survival on Moon, part number 1. You are a member of a space crew. You're on a flight to the moon, but there is a problem. Your spacecraft crashes on the lunar surface. You and the other crew members are okay, but you are 80 kilometers from the main base. The crash caused a lot of damage. Okay? You are an astronaut, and imagine that you are in this situation. Imagine that you are an astronaut in this space rocket on this, and you are going to answer these questions. What is your opinion? What could be the problem solution? Attention, if you need to Google, you can Google the information to answer these 2 questions. Quickly now, you can Google the information or you can think. And I need that here in this space, I need that you write the answers. Write your answers. Write your answers. Write your answers, okay? So quickly, please, 2 minutes to do the following activity, okay? Let's do it quickly. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it, okay? You can Google information quickly. Let's do it, okay? You have 2 minutes for the activity. Okay? The next class, we are going to revise those questions. Do not forget to write here, okay? Very good. So we continue with the next part. Obviously. And obviously, we are going to have the next part of this. Now we're going to do the next part. I need that you see some of the suggestions that you are going to find in this. I need that you pay attention to the expressions that you are going to find into the following listening tasks. Attention, 1, 2, and 3.
Making suggestions.
Let's take the. What about the?
Giving reasons.
The is more important because the isn't useful because
Agreeing and disagreeing.
I agree. I don't agree. That's a good idea.
Well, as you can see here, we have some suggestions. Attention. When you're making suggestions, you say, let's take, what about that? If you want to give reasons, here you have 2 options that you can find. Agreeing when you say, okay, disagreeing when you say, it's not okay for me. And obviously, those are the expressions that we are going to use to that. Where you are going to make, remember that here you are trying to give your point of view. In this section, you are reading, you are assuming that you are astronauts. And obviously, in the part number 1, you have the vocabulary, a picture with the vocabulary. In the number 2, you read and write about your point of view. Now, with this information, you are going to listen the following activity. Attention to this. With this information, we are listening to the NASA. Attention. Listen to the suggestions. Listen to the suggestions of NASA, the U.S. Space Organization. Did you have similar ideas? What you are going to do here? Attention. You are going to listen and you are going to take notes. You are going to take notes of this audio. You are going to take notes of this audio. Listen, you are going to take notes of this audio and you are going to copy in this section the information collected. Okay? What you are going to do? You are going to listen. That is the number 1. We're going to listen. Number 2, take notes. And number 3, you are going to copy in this section the information collected. Where you are going to copy the information? Here, in this space, and in this space, you have a lot of information, and here you are going to copy the information, okay? You are going to do in your student book, you are going to listen, you are going to take notes, and obviously you are going to listen to the suggestions. What are the suggestions? What are the suggestions of NASA? Ready? Remember that in these spaces, in this space, you are going to take your notes and copy the information. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Attention, listen.
Okay, these are the official NASA answers to the survival problem. Remember, you can only take 6 items. So, let's start with the least useful items. These are the things to leave behind. The first aid kit, the parachute, the flares, and the guns. They're useful, but they aren't in the top 6. What else? The milk, the heater, the magnetic compass, and the torch. You only need the torch on the dark side of the moon, and the least useful item is the box of matches. Why? Because there's no oxygen on the moon, so matches don't burn. Now let's look at the 6 most important items. Item number 6 is the rope. That's very useful for tying things together. Item 5 is the solar-powered radio. You can receive messages with this. And item 4 is the food concentrate. You need food to survive. Number 3 is the map of the stars, so you can find the right direction back to base. Item 2 is the water. You need to drink. And item number 1, well, that is obviously the oxygen. You need that for breathing. So what did you decide? Did you agree?
Okay, you listen. Ready? You can repeat this audio because this is a video that is recorded. If you are not so sure, pause it and turn again, and you can listen again and start taking your notes. Remember, you take your notes, and here in this space, you are going to copy the list of the objects that they are mentioning and what are some of the suggestions. Quickly, quickly, quickly. 2 minutes. Copy the information. 2 minutes, quickly. Copy in your books. Quickly. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it quickly. Now. Okay, ready? Remember, here we have, in this part, I am going to show you, now that you finish, now I am going to show you the official answer. Here you have all the speech, all the listening tasks, you have the transcript, and obviously you can read the information that you have here. You can read information and you can compare. Now you are going to compare the information, the taking notes that you have, and you're going to compare with the audio speech on this. If you observe here that you are talking about the items, the useful items that you have in the pictures, the useful items. Remember the first aid kit, the parachute, the flares, and the guns, okay? And obviously also you have all the vocabulary that you have into that, okay? Here you have some of the vocabulary that you have into this, okay? And remember, okay, that you have some information. Here you have some of the vocabulary that you have in this case that you can find this, okay? Pay attention to the instructions, pay attention with some of the items that they were working on this. As you can observe, again, what is here in this section, definitely here you are using all the information that was requested here in this part of the section. All these elements were introduced in this part of the activity, and also the expressions that you can find. Here you have all the expressions to make suggestions, even reasons, all these expressions that were used into the part that you have in the transcription. Okay? Very good. Remember, you are going to complete here in the student book. Todas las actividades que usted ha escuchado y ha visto, las tiene que trabajar en esta parte del libro utilizando sus post-its o escribiendo justamente con lapicito. Now you go to the workbook, page 57. In workbook page 57 here, you have the extra challenge. Here you have this. Imagine that you are about, just wait a minute, please, because I have, okay. Remember in this case, okay, says, imagine that you are about, just wait a minute. Let me see the first one. Okay. Imagine that you are about to climb up the Kilimanjaro with a local guide. You can take 4 items with you. Those items. Here we have some items. Write a dialogue between you and your friend in which you try to agree on which items to take. What are you going to do into this space? Let me see if you have any. Okay, we don't have the answers, but you are going to select what are the dialogues that you are going to use here. Remember, what are the dialogues that you are going to use? Remember that you have the dialogues that you have mentioned here in this section. Here, the most important, the most useful. Let's take that. What about that? You say agree or disagree. These expressions are the expressions that you are going to use in this part of the activity. Okay? Ready? Obviously, using this information, you are going to complete here in the workbook. What is the second part? Here in the second part, you go to this web quest in this case, and obviously you are going to find these questions. You are going to Google the information. You are going to Google the information. Okay, you Google the information and you are going to answer. That is a web quest. You go to the internet and you are going to Google these questions and you are going to answer these full questions. Okay, you have 6 questions and you are going to answer these questions. Remember, you have to go to Google and you are going to investigate. Ready? Very good. In the puzzle, this case, you are going to make comparatives and superlatives. According to the question, here you have some of the words, and obviously you are going to reorder. You are going to reorder. For example, the number 1 says thickest. Here you are going to unscramble to order, and you're going to form the question. And you are going to complete this information as well as. Okay? This is the part that you are going to consolidate into this, okay? You're going to work page 57 and 57 to that, okay? In the platform, you are going, in the platform also, you are going to find, in the platform, you are going to find, this is an example for a classroom in this case, and you are going to find exactly the assignment here. That is the one that you are going to find to this. Right now, you have the assignment. This is the assignment that you are going to find tomorrow, in this case, or this Monday. In this case, that is the assignment that you have in this case. Remember to go and work into this one. Okay? Very good. Remember that is for January 17, and obviously here you have the complete dates that you are going to work on this. Ready? Very good. Very good. Okay? Do not forget to do in this case. Listo. Hasta aquí vamos a completar la información. Por favor, voy a repetir algo que no he dicho hasta el cansancio y que quede registrado en este video. He estado revisando las asignaciones. Realmente recuerden que en diciembre tuvimos muy escaso trabajo porque la plataforma estaba en mantenimiento. Más sin embargo, me doy cuenta que ese poco trabajo que los estudiantes han recibido y lamentablemente veo que el class material, que usted sabe que es su obligación, para mí es el class material y usted lo tiene en esta misma esquina, usted ya sabe qué es lo que tiene que hacer, tanto el support book como el workbook, el support y el workbook. Al momento, ya el día de hoy, hemos terminado la unidad 5. ¿Qué significa? Que todos los estudiantes ya esta semana tienen que haber terminado el support book, tanto el grammar como el vocabulary, unit number 5, and workbook, unit number 5. Al momento, todos aquellos que estén al día ya tienen que haber terminado la unidad número 5. Y todo el curso tiene que haber trabajado ya de la unidad 1 a la unidad 5 con los 2 libritos. Lamentablemente, yo veo que hay cadetes que no han estado trabajando, que han hecho caso omiso. Voy a poner solo un mero ejemplo, por favor. Estoy hablando, miren la fecha que yo tengo registrada. Voy a volver a tomarlo desde el 4 de octubre y voy a hacer un paneo hasta diciembre 30 del 2021. Obvio, ustedes trabajaron hasta el 23, hasta el 22. Pongámosle que le voy a poner hasta el 19 para ser mucho más consecuente. Estoy haciendo un paneo, por favor, y lamentablemente me encuentro con la ingrata sorpresa de que hay estudiantes que no han trabajado. Veo notas bajísimas de 0, espacios que no han trabajado. Y esto es por poner un ejemplo. Y así hay una serie de nombres que obviamente no los puedo reducir. Pero por favor, recuerden que todos tienen que trabajar en las actividades necesarias para el class material. Y obviamente recordemos que estamos en la recta final, ya estamos próximos a terminar el periodo lectivo y todos los cadetes deben de haber cumplido con la información requerida. ¿Ok? Bien, listos. Los dejo, chicos. Recuerden, no nos vamos a ver en clase el lunes ni el martes. Ustedes van a tener este video disponible para que puedan hacer sus actividades en la plataforma. La clase está dada aquí. Insisto, comenten a sus papitos porque justamente estamos dados para finalizar el periodo lectivo con los terceros bachilleratos. Tenemos que hacer unas actividades extracurriculares con los chicos propias de su graduación y obviamente por eso no voy a poder estar con ustedes. Estas actividades que van a culminar inclusive con una junta de curso, ¿ok? Listo, nos vemos Dios mediante la próxima clase, la próxima semana. Tienen toda esta semana para ustedes poder completar. Un gusto, chicos. Adelante. Ya saben, siga cuidándose. La pandemia no ha terminado. Ok. Bye, babies. See you. Thank you.